Right, guys. Man City have just, well, in the end, battered Man United by 4 goals to 1. First off, United were probably just about the better side. City got an early goal through De Bruyne. It was the first goal. It was just poor defending. How you can let De Bruyne have that much space in the box is beyond me, to be honest. Maguire got pulled out of position far too easily. Wan-Bissaka made very little effort to tackle Bernardo Silva, and it just left far too much space for De Bruyne in the box and far too easy for him to score and make it 1-0. And then United did well to get the equaliser, brilliantly taken by Jadon Sancho. Picked up the ball on the left-hand side and took on Kyle Walker. Beat him and also beat, I think it was either Bernardo Silva or Rodri, and managed to curl it into the bottom right corner, doing really well to get it in between Ederson and the post, because Ederson did cover up quite a large part of the goal, and he did well to score that, Sancho. But De Bruyne then managed to put City back in front. This time, just a complete goal line scramble. There was nobody particularly at fault. De Gea made a good save, but eventually just fell to De Bruyne again, and he had an even simpler finish this time around, making it 2-1 at half-time. United were the better side first half, I think that's fair to say. Elanga and Sancho both played really well. Bruno, I thought in the first half, did better than he usually has done this season, and he also managed to link up play between midfield and attack really well. I think United, even though second half it was a dominant performance by Man City, I thought United were a lot better today than they have been in the big games recently, and I think part of that is down to not having Ronaldo, because when Ronaldo's not scoring, he's not doing a lot for the team. And if he doesn't score, it's pointless him being there, to be honest, because he doesn't hold the ball up. For a guy who is 6'1", 6'2", he's very average at best at holding the ball up as a number 9. And he doesn't do any work off the ball, no pressing, but that's not necessarily his fault, because he's 37 years old. You don't expect him to be a pressing machine at that age. But not having him there today, I thought United were a better side for it in the first half. And I did think before the game today that this was going to be one of those games that Pogba just turns up in. But he didn't have a bad game, but he just sort of faded out of it, to be honest. Didn't make any mistakes. But yeah, the third goal in the second half, and City just absolutely dominated second half. It was brilliantly taken by Riyad Mahrez on the volley from a Kevin De Bruyne corner. I think United should have done better to notice that Mahrez is on the edge of the box all by himself. You should know what's coming, really, or what might happen. And then the final goal was originally disallowed for offside, but Mahrez went through on goal and put it past De Gea with quite a fair bit of power. But it was overturned. It was hard to tell if it was onside or offside. I don't think it matters that much, because United were City were 3-1 up with 30 seconds to go. To me, it looked like he was just about level, so I think either way, you're not really going to argue. But yeah, he took it well. I think it did show today the lack of depth that United do have still in some areas, without, obviously with sending out Van der Beek and Martial out on loan and not really bringing anyone in January. That lack of depth did show today, because on the bench all they had was Lingard and Rashford in attack, really. And when they came on, they were both fairly ineffective. Yeah, uh, anything else that needs addressing? Yeah, other than that, it was just how good Man City were in the second half. The first half, they were dangerous going forward, but United probably did go forward more often. Bernardo, this was one of the first few games I've seen that Foden's really stood out to me this season. I think Foden this season hasn't quite been at the level that he was last season. But yeah, today he stepped up a level today. Grealish had a decent game. Mahrez played well. They awarded De Bruyne man of the match, which I couldn't really understand because I know he got the two goals, but other than that, I didn't feel he did a lot else in the game. So yeah, that confused me a little bit. I thought City's best players today were Silva played well, Cancelo played well, he usually does, and Mahrez. They were the three best for me. Um, However, another big thing before the game was about that Diaz is out injured, which I mean could be a big miss for City because obviously he's their best defender. He's improved the side a lot. Like that showed last season after the poor start they had to the season. And when they signed Diaz, they instantly went on, well, maybe not instantly, but they soon went on a really good run of form, winning pretty much every game between about December and February, I think. So I don't think they win the league last season without Diaz. But yeah, he will be a big miss for them, I think, over the next few games, and it'll be interesting to see whether he's back for the Liverpool game or not. Because I can see them struggling a little bit there against Liverpool's front three potentially. But yeah, 3 points for City again. Keeping the gap, the distance it is between themselves and Liverpool. Obviously, Liverpool have now got a game in hand again and are 6 points behind. So, in theory, if Liverpool win that game in hand, which I think is against Arsenal, I think, at the Emirates, where I think Liverpool have struggled over the past few years. How have Liverpool done at the Emirates the past few years? Last year, we won 3-0. Last month, we won 2-0. The year before that, we lost 2-1. The year before that, 1-1 draw. Then the year before that, 3-3 draw, and then the year before that, we won 4-3. So it's not our best fixture for Liverpool. But yeah, as long as Liverpool can keep this gap and just keep winning games until they play City, then they stand a good chance. If they beat City at the Etihad, then they'll be on the same points, and that'll be a really exciting run-in for not just Liverpool and City fans, but neutral fans in the Premier League, I think, as well. But yeah, anyway, it was fairly comfortable for City in the end. United, it looked promising in the first half, but second half, something just went missing. Yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.